Now, for reference, Mike Lucas in the first 100 days, he lost 30 pounds. And then he's sticking around for the part two, they call the Vanguard. And we're working on marathon training. Doesn't pair well with COVID or lungs, but we've got some extended goals, right? We got to get the weight going down to the goal weight, the actual goal weight. So what are we, about 20 pounds away? And we need that going in the right direction here uh, in the next 3 weeks or so, right? And then off we go with that. So no, September is, or is it October? I think it's October for Columbus. Yep, pretty well. Yep. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, I was. I yeah. I went running yesterday and I had to. I was just itching, but I got a mile out and I just turned around and ran back, and my glute is sore. Age, my identity, Mike, is still of when we last saw each other back at Lifestyles. Like that's the same person I am, but my body's not wanting to whatever. So I had been running for a while. I was starting to build up mileage. My oldest son ran the Akron Marathon last year, and he's been poking at me to run it. So I decided, and they say first, second week in January, and I started training. I started logging miles. I got about 35 miles ran. I was running between 3 to 6 miles. And about 3 Thursdays ago, I went ran. I got 4 miles in, no big deal. We were on the towpath and it's slippery. So I think my glutes was a little strained from trying not to slip on ice. I went 2 extra miles, and then I was sore. Those 2 miles is probably shouldn't have done it. It was just sore. And then that was a Thursday. All weekend it was sore. Monday it had that super heavy snow that just piled up inches and inches. And I shoveled 2 hours and 24 hours. Then we went sled riding, and I was sled riding. My kids were dragging me down the hill, Everett and Maxwell, my middle two, and they would not let me up the hill. So I'm fighting them off, and there's probably even more strain. I'm slipping on the hill, and they're tugging on me and pulling. And then about 25 minutes later, we're playing a hide and seek, and I went to go run, and pop, there goes my glute. And since then, there's just a real nice itis going on, some sort of a tendonitis. Gemini and I are having real candid conversations about my glute on and recovering process and different things. And I can bike, I cannot run. So if I run, right, and then I reach that left leg out in that moment, the picking up to getting ready to put down, pain. Especially right before I put it down, it doesn't want to stabilize, so it's definitely a glute and it's a hamstring issue that I'm dealing with, and recovery is literally it's like 8 weeks. It's just, and I just don't want it to be, and it's gonna be, and that's the fact on the glute. So I'm gonna airdyne. I'm gonna do the fan bike and build my cardiovascular system up here. I've done about 20 to 40 minutes for pretty much a week and a half now, and I'll just keep doing that until I can get my glute back in order, so that when I start running again, I didn't just take a month or two off of running or training or getting my legs in order for a marathon. It's really annoying at the very least. So, so I don't pain in the ass. uh, yeah, I wish it was better. That happened. Nope. Yeah. 16:3:32. Ridiculous. And he didn't really train. He just, I'm going to go run a half marathon. He literally one day. So I took him to the towpath over in Barberton, and he ran to Summit Lake, and that was the halfway point. And then I was on phone calls, so I drove, and I was at the turnaround to give him water because it was 90 degrees that day in the summer. So he turned around, chugged water, grabbed some food, and then shipped back out back to the drop off point. And yeah, he ran a half marathon on his own accord, and he ran it a couple times at various points. And he said, "I want to run a marathon." And it's Brian as a professional, it's not the best idea at 16 to run a marathon, but Brian as the athlete and the go getter, heck yeah, you should do that. And he did. I was jealous when he was at the line and I couldn't go with him. So, yeah, pretty wild. Oh, yeah, it's very good. I was blown away. I said, dude, this is what's up. And he's going to do it again. He wanted to run more. He wanted to run one 2 weeks after. Said, "Dude, you're going into swim training. We're good. And one marathon, we're good, and we'll do another one next year." Okay. So, and then he did a triathlon in September at Portage Lakes and did it in about he placed ninth, first in his age group, and yeah, he did. Yeah, 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 yeah. If he would have raced when I raced back in the day, he would have placed top 30. Still pretty good, but he wouldn't have beat Papa. He'll beat me now, though, unfortunately. But yeah, he did really well. He's a swimmer, then a runner, and then cyclist in that order. So he was one of the top few people out of the water, and he just kept a good pace the whole time. So it's pretty wild. All right, moving on. Identity question. So, one question we'll go round robin here. When you are under pressure, stress, challenge, you're tired, weary, at the end of a long day, what is the default version of yourself that shows up? Danny's at the top of my stack. So, we'll start with Danny. When you're under pressure, you're tired, what's the default version of you that shows up? Well, yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah, right. Okay. All right. All right. We'll go Lucas, then Mike, then I'll answer. Mhm. Sure. Right. Right. Real quick too, I'm curious with being away from family and just being on your own, how is that different from you living at home and that area versus now living states away? Mhm. Right. We're working on it, right? We're working on it. Right. Okay. Yep, yep. So you're just happy to get a job, right? You're like, "Hey, I'll do it." Yeah, right. Yeah. 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 Yep. Metro Parks. Yeah. Yep, yep, yeah. Ghetto. Mm. Right. Yeah, pretty good. Yeah. 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 West Side. Yeah. Right. Right. Yep, yep. I've been to a lot of cities, and, they're ultimately the same. I mean, literally, down to the museums and the offerings and everything, and you just have to find the people that you can resonate with. That's one thing that Lucas and I had been shifting a bit and encouraging to find new activities, hence the running group, and not just hang out by with people of proximity. Go people that you can connect with, and he's done a great job of branching out from that, from hanging out at the bar to getting to bed early on a Friday night to get up to run. Yeah, that's bold. That is bold. Yeah. Yep. You have to create. Yep, yep. You got to create. Go ahead, Danny. Yep, yep. Danny and I are talking a lot about creation and change in his world, for the better, for a big better. So, but you have to create. That's coming back from days with Mike. I it literally had so Scott Crabiel. You have to create something to get what you want. And so, say the ab class or the shake and bake on Friday night, or all shake and bake. Oh, so good, so good. Like, can I have a cookie real quick, man? I need to get my blood sugar up. Yeah, yeah. That's just unfortunate. It's bad nutrition. Yep, yeah. I had these quarter sheets of paper, so something like this, and I would write down the workouts of what we would do at the shake and bake, and I would bring them home and leave them on the counter. I would drive my wife crazy, Amber crazy, but I had a stack of them like this big of just individual sheets, just so many that from that because I was there for 5 years or so, and yeah, yeah, yep, yep, yeah. Yep. Yep, yep. The tide rises all boats. I'm the tide. You guys are my boats. So there you go. The same situation still exists here. All right, Mike, it's your turn. That's all right. That's all right. Mike, your question. So under stress, pressure, challenge, obviously you had a pretty challenging season so a little bit ago, but what's the default version of yourself that shows up? Yeah. Right, right, right. All right, thank you for sharing. I would concur. Those are some of the things that I end up resonating with. I'm a very go get 'em person and driven, and I will just stay up. I'll run through walls. But when it comes to say like family or wife, there's sometimes there's like, man, I could use a beer. I could use something to manage this. I remember a number of times this map back here. We're driving around all over the U.S. and whatnot, and there'd be points, and I remember I have very fond memories of traveling all over the U.S. with my family. But there'll be points too where it's wow, I'm spending a lot of time and money to feel this way. Because there'd just be stress and challenge of dealing with 4 young kids. We wrapped up traveling the United States 2 summers ago. We got our 50th, which was Vermont, and that was 2 summers ago. And but and then it started in 2015, 16, something like that is when we started. So it was about 8 years of go, go, go. And we would just go all over the place. But or there'd be times where it'd be waiting in the I'd be in the car, Amber's in any hotel. I've stayed in so many hotels, or in particular at Universal Studios. I can remember waiting, sitting in the car while Amber's in there, and I'm trying to corral kids, and they're climbing on seats and yelling, and the time that she takes, the longer the worse it gets. And I would just leave the car. I would just go get out of the car and walk off, and just try and not yell. So I have some night as well, and something. The other thing, just more personal, is so when say like my wife and I are bickering or there's challenge there, and I will retreat, I will retract, I will get very quiet and sad even, or feel lonely in a sense. So I do feel those strange emotions as well. So yeah, right, 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 right. I the same. Mhm. Yeah, 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 right, right, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. With my kids, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Then I'm not good. And it's usually because they don't listen or they're not doing the things. I can be. I'm very much more matter of fact, in a sense of do this and then we can do that. In a sense, do your chores and we do that. But if they don't do their chores and they keep delaying or put it off or just don't do it, then I start to boil over, and then I will yell. I don't yell very often, but yeah, every once in a while I'll get a little heated, and it will come out and stuff. And that's when I'm like, "Hey, I could use a beer right now. Use a beer." So, All right. Thanks for sharing, gentlemen. Let's move on. Lucas and Danny, with Mike coming in, he understands that there's going to be change, right? There's transformation. There's different things. Nutrition. What is, say, one or two pointers that you can tell Mike? Think back to your first week or two working with me. What's a good pointer? What would you tell him? If you could tell yourself, this is it. Yeah, here it is. If you could tell yourself when you first started, what are one or two things that you would tell yourself, and share that with Mike? Sure, you're hot and ready. You can show him too. Show him. Yep. Mike's gonna be an empty nester, so he has a lot more freedom around his refrigerator or cooking or timing. Fail to plan, plan to fail. Yep. Me too. What is it? Because what is it? Oh, okay. It's like candy bars and sweets and treats and stuff. All right. Yep. Yep. And so with real quick with Danny, he started with meal prepping and then we simplified it. So he likes to prep. You don't have to prep. I prep because I have to cook food all the time for my family. And then I just have cooked food available to put into combinations and patterns of food and meals that I eat. And we'll go over that tomorrow. But this is an iteration of making it more simplified. And so when he showed me this the one day, I'm like, "Ooh, this is good." All right. So I always make them show it to people. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He's like, "Oh my gosh," he came onto that call, like, "Holy Lord." This is so yeah, right. Well yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He lost 39 pounds, and I could not get him to eat vegetables. He is one of the best client transformations I think I've had, literally in the top 95% of at least in a time frame, of, say, the 100 days or so. There's only been a couple people that have got around 40 pounds in that time frame, which is insanely good. But what he do, guys, he kept it simple. He tracked his calories, he did 10K steps, and he didn't eat vegetables. He ate fruit instead. We got some fibrous foods in him, but we broke it down simple. And then no matter what he did or he traveled, he had two teenager kids, and he traveled a lot. We just had this blueprint that he would follow, and as long as he kept his calories in check, and that's the beauty of what I'm going to share with you tomorrow is most guys have wild success, 10,000 steps or more, and 1,800 calories or less. And it's almost repeatable. Now, for like say for Lucas, that's his that's your formula, right, Lucas? And with Danny, he's moving so much that we have to keep him higher calories, which is fine. And that's one of the say the challenges with Danny is he's having a lot of movement, like 16, 17,000 steps is a pretty much everyday thing for him. Plus he's rucking and then he's lifting weights. And so we're constantly adjusting around that. But those are the key things that have helped Danny be really successful with it too. And we just keep adjusting or tweaking or on your long ruck days, Fridays, you get to eat 3,500 calories and you're still losing weight. Sorry, Lucas, but now if you run long, Lucas, on Saturdays, you can have like 3,000 some calories too. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because remember you did that the one day and you felt horrible after because you did not eat enough that day and you were famished. Pass out. Right, right. Right, right, right. You burned 2,000 plus calories before noon and you had 300 calories. Like, dude, the math doesn't math here, man. Yep. Mm. Yeah. Uh, if it's and the things we'll talk about is calories are the most important thing, then eating enough protein, filling up on fibrous foods, limiting your fat because it's really calorie dense, conscious of your carbs because they're always in everywhere, and then you eliminate simple sugars. I call it the simple six. So calories, protein, fiber, limit fat, conscious of carbs, and eliminate sugar. So when we order it like that, and you check the box on say fiber in a day, and you still have a bunch more carbs to eat, go have a bowl of cereal. Cool. Why? Because it fits the box that we're trying to fit in. It's the puzzle piece that works best in that particular setup. And those are the things that I'm going to share with you of how to discern whether having a bowl of cereal is a good idea or having rice or going out to eat or any of those things so that you just know because both these two gentlemen can assure you that they just know what to do when in whatever situation they're at. So, and Lucas has traveled quite a bit since Thanksgiving with family and out of state. So what Tennessee to at least what once or twice. You were in Florida, and then were you somewhere else like I don't know what Texas? Yeah. So you've been traveling, yeah. All right. So Danny said keep it simple. Go ahead. All right. Yeah. He likes the gym. He's been very consistent with the gym. Oh, yeah. Yes. Yep, yep. Yes. Yep. Yeah. Right. Christmas. Yep. Yep, yep. It was good. All right, Lucas, what's one or two things that's really helped? Yep. Yeah. Yep. 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 Yep, yep, and, hey, Lucas, you need that for when you want to attract your mate to be able to cook for her. It'll be a good skill to have. Like, "Hey, come on over and I'll cook dinner." Yep, yep. Well, he still needs to get yeah, he needs to get her attention. So, one way or another, same thing with me. Yeah, yeah. My wife doesn't really eat what I make, so, I don't know how to take that. I think that I make good stuff, but it's her taste buds. It's not my cooking. She's like, "Cook for everyone, not for yourself." Like, there's nothing wrong with this. I made lasagna and everything was amazing about it, but I put red pepper flakes in it and I put too many. I was just gonna put a couple and then more poured out, and I blamed it on garlic. 'Cause everyone was like, "This is hot, this is spicy." That's what they said, and I just didn't say anything. Just normal, normal. So this is yeah, yeah, this is where you're gonna learn, Mike, no matter what noodle you use, it's the same calorie cost. It's the same carbohydrate cost, even if it's a chickpea or black the beans or the lentil pastas. It's still the same calorie and carb costs. So it really doesn't matter per se to that. It's the portion. Yeah, look at a nutrition label, whether it's white, wheat, the chickpea and the lentil pastas are going to have a lot more fiber and proteins in them because that's what those are. They are carbohydrates that have protein and fiber, whereas say wheat pasta doesn't. So you have to get your fiber other places in vegetables throughout the day, and you have to shrink the portion down because it's just carbs. And those are things that will guide you on. So you can have pasta every night if you want. You're just going to have a portion of it that is appropriate for you to eat. That's it. Well, are you a celiac? Are you celiac? Do you have a gluten intolerance? Maybe. Well, yeah, right, right. It's ingrained in you. Yeah, right, right. You're like, forget intolerances. I'll just suffer through it. Well, also, will you? Here's a simple question: Is will you feel the same way when you eat pasta if you just eat this much pasta instead of this much pasta? the, the dosage. Yeah, yeah. The dosage is usually the situation. It's not they even too much spinach is bad for you, but you really have to go to town on eating too much spinach. But with say the gluten, it's quick and easy to eat a lot of it. And then when you have bread and pasta, you're doubling up on the same starchy carb, right, guys? That's the same category, and you can't do that. Or if you do, you have to have less of both of them to make that work, or less at other times of the day to make that work, right? You're talking, so Same. Yep. Because it was a rest day. Yep. So psychological. He's a girl dad. He's got 2 of them. So Yep. Yeah. Clean Fight Club. Yep. Mhm. Yeah. Yep. It'd be a perception shift, and also, just real quick on that is just you're just not gonna serve yourself more than you need. That'll be a change of pace for you. Yeah, man, grandma would probably Yeah, yeah. But yeah, so then yeah, Levi. Yeah, Levi. Oh, no, 20 minutes. Yeah, about 15, 20 minutes. Yep. Oh, so am I. Yeah, yeah. Maybe. Yeah. And maybe something to think about is maybe that's one of the first things that we work on this week is you're the last one to finish the food at the table. That in and of itself, just you have to pace yourself. But that might be a good challenge that we'll talk about tomorrow because his first call is tomorrow. But I like that. I like that. Yep. I like that a lot. That might be a challenge for you. All right. Oh, really? Oh, man. Levi, so the plate's here, just the like I'm sitting up, just the show, but he puts his face, he's he literally he literally inhales the food. It's like, dude, slow down. And he'll go get a second plate of the same amount of food and just he's he's moving, he's swimming 2 to 3 hours a day. He used to, and now he's in taper modes, but he's lean and he's moves a lot and he needs a lot of food. Yeah. Yeah. I keep saying, Levi, rice, potatoes, pasta, beans, cereal, oatmeal. Those are the things you have to eat on a regular basis. And during, not so much now, but he was in the beginning of the season, he would, and over summer, he would bake 5 to 6 potatoes in the microwave in the morning. Got taught him this, and he would take them with him, and he just eat them out of his pockets. Literally, he would pull them out and just start eating a whole potato in front of people, and it was amazing because he would just keep pulling it up. Yes. That's amazing. Yes. Yeah. That's amazing. That's so good. Well, I mean, they were maybe baseball size or a little smaller. They were yeah, 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 there's yeah, he wouldn't put them all in there. He'd put like 2 or 3 in at a time though, but and then he'd have them off, the rest of them would be off in his lunchbox or something, but it was hilarious, and his friends know him for eating endless amounts of apples and potatoes. Like, they literally get him potato and apple gifts for birthdays and stuff. It's hilarious. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, I am working so hard to keep trying to get people in here. So yeah. We'll keep yeah, pretty tough. Right. Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if we need to pad to pad. Yeah, walking pad. A treadmill. Yeah, treadmill with yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yep, that'll work. Yep. Yep. Yeah. We'll get it going. And one real interesting thing about the elliptical, I'll share now. There's a guy that worked from home and he had an elliptical. I got him to shift the thought process around the elliptical. Every time he went to elliptical, he thought he had to just sweat a puddle and work so hard. I was like, no, dude, just move. Just go to the elliptical, move for 10 minutes. You don't need to sweat. And it was game changing. Literally, he's just like, oh my gosh, like I can just go walk, I can just move like I'm walking and on this thing. It's like, yeah, yeah. And it was such a shift, huge shift. So we'll go over those things. All right, gentlemen, we're gonna wrap up. I usually try and wrap by 10:15, just so that because it can go on forever. But uh, excellent call. I appreciate you, Mike. Hopefully, this is just a tune of what's to come, more fun, and we will be talking with you tomorrow. And I appreciate all you guys for jumping in here and participating. It's fun. This is great. Yep. 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 All right. Thank you. Have a good night, guys. Bye bye. All right. I hope that you enjoyed this. This is yet another episode of Driven for Health, a live coaching call. I hope that you get a lot out of these things. Why? Because it's the whole point of me sharing this with you, this experience of real live coaching, men talking about the challenges that they have in their everyday life. It's real. And men do it in isolation, they don't do it together. And that's one of the reasons why I created the call to rise in the first place, is to connect men with other like-minded men that are driven and are successful in a lot of areas, but maybe their body isn't as dialed in as it should be. They're overweight, they have poor health issues, there's chronic disease, risk of a heart attack, diabetes. We don't need these things. You don't need to be walking around with 20, 30 pounds around your waist. And we do not have to do it through a GLP-1 or a peptide or any of that. You could literally just transform your day-to-day lifestyle through actual real life coaching. And that's what we do with the 100-day challenge of the Call to Rise. I thank you so much for joining us today, and off we go to another episode. All right. I hope you enjoyed it. Everyone else here, off we go.